Welcome to English Vertex Podcast.
Improve your vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation with our engaging lessons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Vertex Podcast. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey there! It's great to be back. I actually had a pretty funny morning, and it's kind of perfect for today's topic.
Oh, really? What happened? I was texting a friend, and I couldn't decide whether to say make a decision or do a decision. I froze for like 10 seconds. That happens to so many learners. And honestly, it happens to native speakers sometimes too when they're tired.
True, but that's exactly why today's episode is going to be so useful. We're talking about 25 daily use verbs that you really need to start using today.
These aren't rare, fancy words. These are the verbs that show up in almost every single conversation you'll ever have in English. Get, make, take, do, go, think, want, need, look, feel, put, keep, give, try, let, work, and more. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to use these verbs naturally, you'll understand the small but important differences between similar ones, and you'll be able to avoid the mistakes that trip up even intermediate learners.
We're also going to show you real examples from everyday life, not textbook sentences that nobody actually says.
While you're listening, I want you to think about your own day. Which of these verbs did you already use today? Comment below and tell us.
And if you're new here, welcome to the family. Make sure you like this episode and subscribe to English Vertex Podcast so you never miss a lesson.
All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it.
Let's start with the verbs you probably use the most without even noticing. Get, make, take, do, and go. These are the backbone of everyday English. The basic structure is simple. Subject plus verb plus object. For example, I get coffee. She makes dinner. We take the bus.
Let me give you some real examples. I get up at 7 every morning. He makes breakfast for his kids. They take the train to work. She does her homework after school. We go to the gym on weekdays.
Notice how natural those sound? None of them are complicated grammar, but if you mix them up, like saying I do the bus instead of I take the bus, it sounds strange to a native speaker.
Right, and this is where a lot of learners get confused. Let's do a quick check. Emily, can you finish this sentence? I always my keys before I leave the house.
I always take my keys before I leave the house. Or you could say grab, but take is the safest, most common choice.
Exactly. Now, here's another one for our listeners at home. How would you say prepare food using one of these verbs?
That's make. I make food, not do food.
Perfect. Now, let's talk about negatives because that trips people up too.
With these verbs, the negative usually needs do not or don't as a helper. So it's I don't get it, not I no get it. Or she doesn't make breakfast on weekends.
And with go, it's I don't go to the gym on Sundays. Simple, but so important to get right.
One small trick here. Get changes meaning depending on the sentence. I get it can mean I understand. I get tired means I become tired. I get a gift means I receive a gift.
That's such a good point. Get is honestly one of the most flexible verbs in English. Can you all think of 3 different meanings of get and write them in the comments?
I love that idea. Let's also mention do versus make, because this confuses so many people. Make is for creating something, like make a cake or make a plan. Do is for actions or tasks, like do homework or do the dishes. A simple trick, if you're producing something new, use make. If you're completing a task or activity, use do. So to summarize this section, get, make, take, do, and go are your foundation verbs. Learn them well, use them often, and everything else will feel easier.
Great summary, Emily. These 5 verbs alone can carry you through most everyday conversations.
Now, let's build on that foundation with a group of verbs about your mind and feelings. Think, know, want, need, feel, and look.
These are different because they're often followed by that, an adjective, or an infinitive with to. For example, I think that it's a good idea. Or simply, I think it's a good idea.
Let's look at some real-life situations. Imagine you're deciding what to eat. You might say, I feel like having pizza tonight. Or if you're at work, I need to finish this report by 5.
Here's a dialogue to show how natural this sounds. Emily, pretend you're asking me about dinner.
Sure. Hey, what do you feel like eating tonight?
I don't know. I think I want something light. Maybe a salad.
That sounds good. I need something quick anyway. I have a class later.
See how natural that felt? No complicated grammar, just real conversation.
Now let's compare formal and informal usage. In a casual chat with friends, you might say, I want to grab a coffee. But in a formal email, you'd write, I would like to schedule a meeting.
Good point. Want becomes more polite when you use would like in professional situations. It's the same idea, just a softer tone.
Let's do a quick practice activity. I'll give you a situation and you think about which verb fits best. Situation 1. You're not sure about something. Which verb do you use?
I think, or I'm not sure. For example, I think it might rain today.
Perfect. Situation 2. You understand something clearly.
I know. I know how to drive. Simple and direct.
Here are 3 tips before we move on. First, use think for opinions, not facts. Second, use know only when you're truly certain. Third, feel like plus a noun or ing verb is perfect for talking about desires, like I feel like sleeping or I feel like tea. Those are excellent tips. Now, I want you, our listeners, to write one sentence using feel like in the comments below. Tell us what you feel like doing right now. I love reading those comments, by the way. It really helps us see how you're all improving.
So to review, think, know, want, need, feel, and look all connect to your inner world, your opinions, needs, and emotions. Master these, and your conversations will sound so much more natural and personal.
Now let's move to a third group, the verbs you use for handling everyday tasks and objects. Put, keep, give, try, let, and work.
These verbs show up constantly in daily scenarios, like organizing your house, helping someone, or trying a new skill.
Let's start with put. You might say, put your shoes by the door, or I put the milk in the fridge. It's about placing something somewhere.
And keep is about holding on to something. Keep the change. I keep my documents in this folder. It shows continuation or possession over time.
Here's a small tip for politeness. Instead of saying, give me that, which can sound a bit direct, you can soften it with, could you give me that, please? Or, would you mind passing that to me?
Tone really matters here. If you say something too directly, even correct grammar can sound rude. Adding please, could you, or would you mind makes a huge difference.
Let's practice a real-life situation. Imagine you're at a friend's house and you want to try their homemade soup.
You could say, can I try some of that soup? It smells amazing.
And if your friend offers you more, you might respond, sure, let me try a little more, please. Great example. Now, let is interesting because it means allowing something. Let me help you. Let's go. She let him borrow her car. And work isn't only about your job. You can say, this plan works, meaning it's effective. Or let's work on this together, meaning collaborate.
Here's a mini practice moment. I'll describe a scene,
and Emily will respond using one of these verbs.
Go for it.
You're moving to a new apartment, and your friend wants to help carry boxes.
Let me help you with that box. It looks heavy.
Perfect response. Very natural.
Try saying that out loud right now, wherever you're listening from. Practicing out loud really helps your mouth get used to the rhythm of English.
I promise, it feels a little silly at first, but it works, and that's the whole point today.
So, structurally, remember, put and keep are about location and possession. Give and let are about offering or allowing. And try and work are about effort and function.
Great review. These practical verbs will make your daily conversations feel so much smoother.
Okay, let's be honest with everyone. We've made plenty of mistakes with these verbs too, even though we teach English every day.
Oh, absolutely. I once said I did a mistake instead of I made a mistake in front of a whole class. I wanted to disappear.
That's actually one of the most common mistakes learners make. It's make a mistake, not do a mistake, because you're creating an error, not completing a task. Let's go through a few more. Mistake number 1, saying I have hungry instead of I am hungry. Feelings and states usually use be, not have. Why does this happen? Many languages use have for feelings, like I have hunger. So learners translate directly, but English uses be for most physical states.
Mistake number 2, mixing up say and tell. The correct pattern is tell someone something, but say something to someone. So it's tell me the truth, not say me the truth.
A good trick. Tell needs a person right after it, like tell him, tell her, tell me. Say usually doesn't take a person directly.
Mistake number 3, confusing bring and take. Bring is toward the speaker's location. Take is away from it. Bring the documents here versus take the documents to the office.
And mistake number 4, using listen and hear the wrong way. Listen is active attention. Hear is passive perception. I'm listening to music means you're focused on it. I hear a noise means it just reached your ears.
Let's do a quick correction game. I'll say something wrong, and Emily will fix it.
I'm ready.
She said me she was busy.
Correct version, she told me she was busy.
I have thirsty.
I am thirsty.
Take this letter to my brother. He's in the next room.
Actually, that one's correct. Since your brother is nearby, take makes sense there.
Nice catch. See, once you understand the logic, it becomes much easier to choose the right verb.
Please remember, mistakes are completely normal. Every single fluent speaker made these same errors while learning. It's part of the process, not a sign of failure. Absolutely. So don't be afraid to mess up. Just notice the pattern, correct it, and move forward. That's exactly how progress happens. Now it's time for our favorite part. Choose the correct sentence. I'll give you 2 options, and you decide which one sounds natural.
Situation 1. A. I did a decision. B. I made a decision.
The answer is B. I made a decision.
Situation 2. A. She has hungry. B. She is hungry.
B again. She is hungry.
Situation 3. A. Can you tell me your name? B. Can you say me your name?
A. Can you tell me your name?
Situation 4. A. I feel like eating pizza. B. I feel eat pizza.
Clearly A. I feel like eating pizza.
Situation 5. A. Let's work on this project together. B. Let's make work this project together. A. Let's work on this project together. And our final one, situation 6. A.
Bring your umbrella when you leave the house. B. Take your umbrella when you leave the house.
This one depends on perspective. But since you're leaving your own location, take fits better here.
Great answer. And that's a perfect example of how context changes everything.
Now here's your challenge. Pick 3 verbs from today's episode and create your own sentences about your actual day. Say them out loud right now, even if no one else can hear you.
You can also try changing the tone. Imagine saying one sentence casually to a friend and then again more formally, like to a boss or teacher.
Wow, what an episode! We covered so much today, and I feel like we could talk about these verbs forever. Let's quickly recap the 3 main groups we learned. First, the basic action verbs: get, make, take, do, and go. Second, the thinking and feeling verbs: think, know, want, need, feel, and look. Third, the practical daily verbs: put, keep, give, try, let, and work. If you can comfortably use these 25 verbs in your daily conversations, your English is going to sound so much more natural and confident.
And remember, nobody becomes fluent overnight. Every mistake you make is actually proof that you're trying, and that's exactly how real progress happens.
Here's a question for you before we go. Which verb from today's episode do you personally struggle with the most? Tell us in the comments. We genuinely read every single one. And if this episode helped you even a little, please like it, share it with a friend who's learning English, and subscribe to English Vertex Podcast so you never miss an episode. We put so much effort into making these lessons practical and useful for you. And honestly, your support means the world to us.
Keep practicing, keep speaking out loud, and don't be afraid of mistakes. You're doing better than you think.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
See you next time.